They got a solid defense. Don't get me wrong, but you can't. Like I said, you can't have an entire organization built on one. That's what's wrong with the Bulls. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it
I,
is. Oh, oh,
right. I
hello.
totally agree. Didn't mean to walk in the conversation. Just doing a quick welfare check, making sure everyone's good.
Hi. Yeah. I mean, I suppose so. I got some cheeseburgers. Well, these guys
Food,
told me that we're
water.
allowed to smoke in here, so I got
Yeah,
the smokes.
that you are. These gentlemen, usually smoking's down there, but they just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, these guys. They said it was cool to smoke wherever. They said, yeah, there's a sign about it, but he said they don't care. So
Yeah, that's bad influences. Um, Everything all right on your side? I'm surprised to see you here.
Uh, uh, I mean, I've been better. I've had better days.
Right. Do you want to have a conversation, or you
Yeah, I suppose I should probably talk to somebody about it. Or you're
I,
like a
I'm
doctor here.
I'm Leon Marks. I'm one of the therapists down at Pillbox.
Okay, yeah. Then you sound
Uh,
like someone I should probably talk to a little bit about what happened and
Not a
where I'm at.
right. It's again. I'm surprised to see you here. What are you doing here anyway?
Believe me, I'm surprised to see me here too, Doc. I just had a bad day. I made a couple of bad decisions. Old Ripley did, and well, I've been suspended from the Los Santos Police Department indefinitely. And they told me to to stay here for a little while until I can really figure out what just happened and kind of get back to the Ripley of old. They'll make a decision on my future employment once I'm back in the saddle.
Right. Well, I guess if you want to sit down and talk, we can definitely do that. Any particular area you'd like to speak? I don't think these two need to know your business.
Yeah, you're
No,
probably right.
no offense, gentlemen.
Maybe over there by the tables.
Sure. There's a head down there.
All right, I'm just gonna turn my ringer off on my phone because it's
No
blowing up.
worries.
How the hell do you even do that? I've never had to turn it off before.
I think
Uh,
it's just the blue button on the right side. Toggle calls.
oh yeah, there we go. Nice. Whew, what a day. Well, at least the sun's setting. This day's behind me
Right,
now.
it is.
Moon's
Sometimes
coming out.
it's so. How have you been, Ripley? How's life in general?
Life in general.
Hello, Daddy. I love you.
I guess it's got its ups and downs. Some days are better than others, but when you step back and you look at the trend line, you look at the curve and you start to wonder if you're heading in the right direction or not. Seems like every day I'm heading a little farther from where I want to end up, and it kind of makes me wonder how I'm ever going to get there.
I can relate in more ways than none.
Self Predator, thank you very much for the Prime
Um,
sub. Welcome to the K9 unit.
how long have you been, I guess, feeling this way? Is this a common occurrence, maybe from day to day, or is it just pop up every once in a while?
I guess it all started back in June of last year when I left the San Andreas State Police and accepted a position as Chief of Police of the LSPD, really.
I definitely remember those days.
That's kind of like the source of my problems, I guess, when the real heartache began.
Is that a position that you found yourself wanting to be in?
Well, shit, no. I was, I was happy where I was at. I had my dream job, trooper. Happiest I ever been. I had Emma. I had Zero. My dream job. I was happy as a clam. But when your name gets called and you're asked to serve your city, serve the LSPD, you answer that call. So I answered the call. I thought it would be a temporary transition. Took that leap, and well, I guess I've been falling ever since.
So you stepped up just because no one else would, or was this more of somebody wanting you to step up?
Kind of both. I mean, sure wasn't anybody else was going to step into the role right then and there, and my name got called. I got asked, and when someone asks you for help, I mean, what kind of decent person would turn them away? Even if you're happy where you're at, you say, "Well, shoot, sure, I'll help." Sydney is Steam Charlie.
Yeah, it's a good indication that you're definitely in the right line of work.
Yeah, I guess. Just
How long have you been in officer?
an officer. Well, shoot. I signed up as a law enforcement officer in November of 2017.
Oof, more years than most.
Yeah, a couple of cops still around, been around since I have. I mean, I learned the ropes from Sheriff Tribble, and back in the day, used to be Chief Inspector Jackie Snow, and a couple others were around from back then. Jenny Hall, Daryl McCormick, Kareem Leone. Uh, yeah, not a whole lot have been around too much long. I'm probably missing a few. Frank, of course. Frank Williams been around since forever as well. But
Names I'm all very familiar with. Good crew, good
yeah,
group of people.
it was a wild west back then. I'll tell you, things were crazy back then.
Oh, that they were. I had hair back then. Just go
Yeah,
figure.
for a couple of days I did too. No mustache either.
I guess it's the part, if anything. But do you want to talk about what happened today? And like how you,
Sure.
I guess, what happened here?
Yeah, well, I guess things have been adding up, and I've been feeling like a bomb ready to blow up, I suppose. And well, there was this guy, Eugene Zuckerberg. We've arrested him how many times? 5 times, 6 times, who knows? Every time, don't matter. Every time we arrest him, he'll just get his friends to break him on out, and they either get him out or we wipe out all the bad guys, and some other crew will wipe all the cops out and bust all them out. So it ain't ever going to end. We're always going to end up at war trying to get him to serve all his warrants and whatnot. So I'm getting fed up with it. And today, when I signed on duty, I was greeted with the message that, the cops were surrounded. They had something like 7 prisoners in custody, and they were all down, and the cops were still up, but they were being circled by like 4 more bad guys. So they asked for my help. I drove over there, and I sort of acted like perimeter security, you could say, Doc. I just sort of drove around and sort of made sure nobody was slow rolling past my brothers and sisters in uniform over there. And one of the guys was wearing that stupid bird mask, and one of them was wearing a gnome mask. I guess it ended up being, it sounded like Lang Buddha and Eugene Zuckerberg. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was both of them. So once all the prisoners got to the mission row, I was basically the only officer on duty who wasn't involved in the situation. So I resumed patrol. Long story short, Eugene and Buddha ended up taking me hostage while I was on patrol. They just sort of baited me into a situation that I had to respond to, and then they surrounded me and made me surrender. But the thing of it is, they didn't really have a plan for me. I guess they didn't really plan on me surrendering. They planned on me like going down shooting or something. Because when I put my hands up and they took me hostage, they all started bickering with one another about what to do with me. They had no plan. They disagreed with each other about everything they were going to do. And for like 40 minutes, they drove me around, robbed me, humiliated me, threatened me. And all they kept saying was just take him to the south side and execute him. Make a statement out of him or something like that. So, my heart started racing. I thought I was going to be executed. So I started, panicking, begging them for my life, pleading, begging, letting them know I'd do anything if they just don't shoot me, offering to give them money, offering to give them information, offering anything I could offer. But in the end, they just took me up against a wall and asked me if I had any last words. When I begged for my life, they just shot me down and left me there bleeding. So they just drove off. So I almost died. I thought I was gone. I was fading in and out of consciousness. I didn't know what was going on. I woke up at Pillbox Medical Center in the hospital. Apparently there was a couple through and throughs in my shoulder and my hip. I was pretty rough shape, but I survived the surgery. And when they got me out of the bed, they found out I was actually handcuffed still. So I had to stand there humiliated, having survived surgery, standing there handcuffed in the hospital. None of the doctors had handcuffs, so they had to call a cop on the radio, but no cops were available. So after, I don't know, 5 minutes, I guess, the cops all start coming to the hospital. Each one of them's dragging a dead body with them. They're all dragging them to the beds, and I see Rhodes. So Rhodes is dragging the guy that just shot me, the guy with the bird mask. So he uncuffs me and then puts his bird mask guy on the bed next to me, and I gotta say I was a little emotional. I was a little wrapped up in the heat of the moment of what that bastard just did to me, and the sort of final needle in the haystack or whatever set me off, the straw that broke the camel's back. And he already robbed me. He took my pistol, he took my rifle. I didn't have nothing, so I reached around and I found my skinning knife that I leave in my boot, and I stabbed him right there in the bed. I told him I'd fucking kill him for what he did to me, and I started hollering and stabbing and stabbing and stabbing. And then I just remember getting tased, and I hit the ground. Rhodes handcuffed me and brought me down to Mission Row and told me that I was suspended, and told me that I needed to come up to Parsons and talk to somebody about what the hell just happened and sort myself out before they figure out what they're going to do with me, if I'm ever going to be a cop again or if my career's over.
So you've had literally a quick glance at hell.
A quick glance at hell, yeah. Sort of like on a roller coaster when you're kind of making your way up to the top, and you feel it just going click, 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 and you just sort of peek down at the precipice, and you can see all the way down on where you're gonna go. It's where I feel like I'm at right now, and I just feel like I'm getting ready for the floor to come out from under me, and down I'm gonna go, and I feel like I'm locked in on the rails, and there's only one way to go.
It's odd when you feel as if there's no other place, no other action. When you literally can see beginning to end what this ride will bring, but yet you still ride it.
Yeah, I guess so. My voice is starting to hurt.
Today is not your best day, and I'm hoping in a really odd way that it is your worst. That there will be better days.
I sure as hell hope so, too. You mind if I smoke, Doc?
And it's your lungs.
Man, I sure as hell hope it's my worst day, too. In law enforcement, we often deal with people. It's on the worst day of their lives. That's why we try to be patient with people. Try to be considerate of the fact that they're probably going to be emotional, probably going to be angry, probably not going to be themselves. But I guess today it was my turn to fill in that role. I felt like there was somebody else stabbing that man in that bed. I just felt like there was some sort of power over me, reaching for that knife and compelling me to stab that man.
You're human. And humans are just like everyone else and everything else. It fights to survive. And when you're put in a position where your life is threatened constantly, when you are constantly gunned down, left for dead, or even being talked to like you're some sort of instrument of doom, you will fight to survive.
Yeah. I heard a voice telling me it's him or you, Jack. It's gonna be him or it's gonna be you. Who's it gonna be, before he shot me, he made it very clear that he was going to execute me. And then I found myself standing over his hospital bed. There he was, helpless. And I just kept thinking to myself, if this man recovers, regains his strength, he's going to hunt you down, Ripley, and he's going to finish the job when he finds out he didn't kill you. When I heard that voice, it's like my hand just moved itself, grabbed that knife, and just started stabbing and stabbing. And I heard myself say some terrible things, saying, I'll kill you, you son of a bitch.
Again, at that point, you're human, and you will fight to survive. Granted, I'm not here to justify your actions, nor whether giving you, The city is not like any other. The amount of violence that we deal with on the day-to-day is disgusting. The amount of people that we see in the hospital due to stab wounds, gunshots. It really is a depressing place to live, even to work in. And I know how hard PD does to just do their day-to-day, making sure that people are safe, making sure that those who need to be saved and looked at are. So from the bottom of my heart, let me say thank you. Granted, your actions were a bit more, well, you showed your human side.
Yeah, but the thing is, we're not supposed to be human. We're not supposed to be like everyone else. We're held to a higher standard, Doc, and I should have been able to suppress that voice like I have 1,000 times before and control my damn self. And I failed. I failed myself. I failed the LSPD, and I failed the public that I'm sworn to protect.
I guess that's why you're here of all places. Not sure why Parsons. I doubt that you're a very violent person. Putting someone in that position alone would make them violent.
Hey, Akaber, what's up?
For just that simple reason that you are fighting to survive.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it felt like, that's for sure. It all happened so fast. Is Talia here?
And how are you feeling now? What are your first thoughts that come to mind when you eventually leave this place?
Still hasn't really sunk in yet what I did, or what could the consequences be, or if I'll ever be the same again. I mean, like I said, I just want to be my old self again. I want to be the Ripley that was Ripley in its prime, the Ripley that people looked up to, and, you know, that was respected not only by other cops, but respected by the criminals in this city. The lawyers respected me. The judges respected my word. Everything was on top. And it seems like this is the straw that broke the camel's back. It just kind of reveals that things are a train wreck right now. My life is in ruins. I feel like a goddamn loser.
Well, you're far from. You let the emotions get the best of you. But again, you're human. You were just recovering. You were just humiliated in your own way. It's not the easiest job in the world. And if you've been doing it as long as you have, you get to see the worst of people. You get to see the worst of the worst, and it ends up blending together. Emotion like this bleeds out.
SASP at heart, that's for sure.
We have like a few therapists that can help you in building back up what you've lost. I suppose control, in a sense.
Really? How's that work? Is there some kind of like pill that I swallow and I just become like Alpha Ripley or something?
Good God, no. That's No, no,
Or is there
no.
like a trick you do like with a watch and you just swing it back and forth and I go like I am Super Ripley and then I'm like super smart and stuff, or like how does this work? You know, like you're supposed to make me like Super Ripley, right?
We'll go ahead and go with that one. But in all seriousness,
We're gonna go with that one.
it's it won't be that easy. It's not a simple switch that you can go ahead and flick on and off.
Oh boy. So there's gonna be like effort and stuff. I have
Oh,
to
a
like
lot of
actually
effort.
work at this.
You have to build it up. We have to get you back in ship shape. Get you back on your feet. Get you back to doing what you've been doing all along.
Well, I was hoping it would be easy, but I'll tell you this right now, Doc. I ain't scared of hard work. I got knocked down today. I'm flat on my back. I can hear the referee counting 1, 2, 3, but you know what? Come hell or high water, mark my words, Jack Ripley will get back up on his feet again. And when I do, I'm going to climb back in that saddle. You're going to see. I'll put some pride back on my name again. This
Would
city ain't heard
appreciate
the
it if you
last of
would.
Jack Ripley.
I would appreciate it if you did. The city needs you more than they like to admit.
Maybe I need the city too. I mean, who am I if I'm not, you know, Officer Ripley, Trooper Ripley, Chief Ripley, whatever. If I'm not something in law enforcement, I'm just Jack, you know? Who the hell's Jack? Nobody knows. Nobody cares. It's Ripley they need, the cop.
Something that may help, while you're up here at least, think about who Jack is. Before you joined the force and such, what were your favorite activities, hobbies, friends that you had?
Shoot, I loved NASCAR back in the day. I liked fishing over by Sandy Shores up on Marina Drive. Four-wheeling, you know, on the ATVs and hiking up Mount Chiliad. And watching like wrestling and stuff on the TV.
You're just a good old boy, huh?
Oh hell yeah! Love spinning the wheels and getting some mud on the tires. Sometimes taking a swim down by the lake, you know. And having way too many Coronas, that's for sure. Way too many.
Maybe some fresh air will do you some good. Refresh you on who you are and get you out and about. I mean, this place is quiet, beautiful, plenty of fresh air. It's away from every gunshot known to man.
Yeah, that's good. There's been way too many of those lately. Maybe that's what I need. Some separation from it all, you know, to kind of recenter myself or whatever you call it. Kind of like when your car overheats, you know, and you gotta like drain it and get some more like oil fluid and whatever's in there so it cools down. Maybe that's what has to happen with my brain or whatever.
A refresher, yeah.
How refreshing.
It's amazing what happens to someone when you take them out of a situation where their life is they're always on the line.
Yeah. I thought I could deal with it, but I guess sometimes, you know, you stretch out a rubber elastic band over and over and over and over and stretch it to the absolute limit. Eventually, something's going to snap, you know? I think it snapped today.
Again, you are human. People that push down natural feelings and the ability to fight for your life, it's... I see a lot of people come into the hospital.
Only both. Holy shit.
Unfortunately, I see a lot of people don't come out of the
You
hospital
may be
as
right.
well.
Breezy. Really?
when it comes down to it, you just have to remember that you're doing more good than anything. That you're doing this for the people that can't say anything. Because the ones that are loudest and most violent are the ones that fear you the most.
Right. Like the scales of justice, you know, going one way or the other.
You really love your metaphors, don't you?
Don't know how my brain works, Doc. Metaphors.
I'm here for it. So when it comes down to it, while you're here, I'm sure that there will be a few other therapists doing their rounds and making sure that you're good and taking care of food, water, and a conversation.
That's good. I appreciate that. It's good to have someone to talk to about these things. I'll be honest, most of the time when I'm on duty, like yesterday, for example, I was on duty for damn near 8 hours yesterday. I'll probably talk to 3 people from about 5 minutes that whole 8 hours. Most of it's just, ping, jewelry store robbery, get there as quick as I can, let's go to hostage, no spike strip, safe passage, off you go, stop in the name of the law, okay, then you book them. Or, bing, robbery at the convenience store, bing, bank truck being hit, bing, 911 says there's a judge being shot on the courthouse steps again. So, you know, you're just running from fire to fire, trying to put things out. You don't have 2 minutes to sit together and talk about what the hell's going on today, what's going on with your life. You know, just no time. Everyone's stretched to their limits. This city's so goddamn crazy. I don't think all the king's horses and all the king's men could ever put this city together again. It's insane. You could call the goddamn National Guard in here. They wouldn't even be able to keep order if you called martial law. There'd still be crime all over the place. Something in the water up here or something. Makes everyone crazy.
Originally, I thought it was LSD, but
I thought it was LSD.
yeah. Either way,
I think so, yes, Pat. Paddywhack. I can have.
I think a lot of good will come out of this. It's harder to see, I guess, the light at the end of the tunnel in just the beginning, but I'm going to try my best to get you back on track, and obviously this is going to be your battle.
Yeah.
But we'll try our best to help in any way we can. But this is going to be your battle to remember who you are and what you fight for. Putting a cap on, I suppose, an outburst or two.
Yeah.
And this situation is not the funnest, and it's not the greatest moment for you. In fact, I can't imagine what I would do in that position. I don't know if I would be able to resist either.
Well, it definitely humanizes it a little bit. It's good to know that other people might have done the same in my boots.
In fact, I would almost think if the tables were switched, I would be talking to another individual. That's not the case.
Yeah, the what if game kills me. I sit in bed at night and look up at the ceiling and play the what if game. What if I did this? What if I said that? Maybe I'd be in that rank. Maybe she'd still be there, you know? Maybe this would be different. Maybe that'd be different. What if, what if, what if?
Life isn't about what ifs. Life is about doing.
Yeah, you're right.
You can question everything in the world, but you'll never find an answer. It's a matter of doing what you can and pushing through. making the best out of life and helping those who you can.
It's kind of like being given like a little container of crayons, right? And you're being asked to draw like a masterpiece, but you open up the crayon box and you got like green, brown, and purple. And you're gonna somehow make some kind of masterpiece out of it. That's what I feel like, Doc. I feel like, how the hell am I supposed to make something out of this?
Where there's a will, there's a way. It won't be the easiest way. Won't be the smartest way. But they'll find a way.
There's definitely a will. I'm one stubborn son of a bitch. That's one thing about me. There's definitely a will. So there's got to be a way.
You've been an officer in the city for damn near 3 years. I have never seen determination, or at least stubbornness at that point.
It's like I can see the destination. I just can't see the path on how to get there sometimes.
It's not always going to be the clearest. It's not always going to be, well, the easiest. But in the end, if you strive for something, you push for it, you can get there. What would be your most ideal situation at this point?
My most ideal situation? What do you mean, like I win $1 million and retire to some island in the Caribbean or something? Or what do you mean?
Let's say you walk out these walls. What is your most ideal situation?
Well, I guess I walk out and some, one of my fellow officers picks me up and drives me back to PD where I sign back on duty, and everyone says, "Welcome back, Ripley. We missed you." Maybe they have a little cake in the break room and everyone's standing around cheering, and we all have some brewskis. Have, a little bit of music and some food, maybe some pizza or some hot dogs or hamburgers or something, and then I get right back to it, hop in the saddle, grab my cruiser, get back on duty. Save some hostage from a bank robbery. The mayor thanks me personally and gives me the keys to the city. Front page of the newspaper says, "He's back. Jack Ripley, super cop." Tony Andrews pulls up in his Mustang and says, "Hey, Ripley, welcome home, brother." Tosses me a state police badge. And then Zero's waiting in the passenger seat. I guess you could say that would be my ideal scenario.
That is quite the ideal scenario, I would believe. The fact that you want to get back on that horse and get right back at it, I'm happy to hear that. Don't get me wrong. It'll take time, but obviously we'll be doing our best to making sure that you are good to go. In my opinion, I don't know why you're here in Parsons. You're not a danger to anyone or yourself.
That's what I was saying.
We'll see about, I guess, this place in particular, but I don't mind
Hey, Eladelph.
well, sitting down with you and having, conversation and seeing if we can get you back on that horse, making sure that you are good. And obviously there are plenty of other therapists that can help you out as well if I'm not available. Or if you, pick your favorites and such.
Absolutely. I'm happy to work with anyone on your staff. I've come here more times than I can count, and I always recommend that my fellow officers stop by when they have a tough situation. I barely ever see any of them actually do it, but I've done it once or twice, and every time it makes me feel a lot better to get stuff off your chest, and just talk about things you're having trouble processing and having trouble coping with, It's like a weight off your chest.
Right. People put on that badge and think they're Superman and should be looked at like Superman. It's not the case. Again, everyone is human. You need to remember that too. You need to know your limits. You need to know when to step back and take a breather.
Probably, actually.
Today, unfortunately, you didn't get to step back and take a breather.
Philadelphia.
You got to see a side of yourself I'm sure you never wanted to see. But here, we're going to go ahead and take that time and breathe. You have purpose, you have direction, you have life in you. It's a matter of getting over the hump and enjoying life for what it is. It's a roller coaster, but for the most part, it's what you make of it, too.
Yeah, you're right. I think,
Hello, Daddy.
I think a part of it has been denial for a long time, just waking up every day and pushing my problems further to the back, thinking if I just get on duty today and I catch me a bad guy,
Hello, Daddy.
all them problems will go away. I'll stop worrying about them. I just need to have a good day. Just one good day will wipe all that bad days out, But I think you keep cramming stuff. It's like a dirty room. You keep stuffing dirty socks and stuff under the pillow and whatever. Eventually, that room's gonna be such a mess. You gotta clean the house, And I think that's what my problem is now. Is I've had so many bad days where I just push things aside and try and act like if I just get on duty and act like super cop, that all them bad things will just be in the past and I'll forget all about them. But sooner or later, they catch up with you. Thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. Appreciate that very much.
Was there anything in particular, I guess, in the past maybe a couple of days or so that kind of, I guess, something that might have been bubbling up at home or something that had been irritating you maybe in the past few days that kind of accelerated this as well?
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily anything to accelerate. I guess it's just the deterioration of the dream. You see in your head where you want to be. That whole happy scenario I just played out for you, that ideal scenario I just played out for you, that's the dream,
Right.
And the more and more you see that becomes less and less likely, and I guess it just sort of agitates things, and you see the dream slipping away, and every day the city's got more violence, and cops are being held hostage, and the same people keep getting away with the same crimes over and over and over. All the while, all you get told is how people are crying about how you're such a bad cop, and the cops are such assholes, and the cops don't run anything, and other people are controlling other areas of the city, and we'll get shot if we even go near there. It's just sort of like we're losing control and losing respect. Nobody fears the cops. Nobody respects the law. Everything's our fault. So you start to see the dream collapse, and you start to see the reality of what people really think of you. And I guess it just got to me with the spike in violence and the fact that they could do that with no repercussions to me. I guess it just made me sort of snap. It wasn't that long ago, Doc. It wasn't that long ago. You probably remember this. There was a time in this city. There was a time when if you told your friend that you're going to take that cop over there and you're going to point a gun at him and you're going to rob him and you're going to throw him in your car, you're going to drive around for 45 minutes torturing and humiliating them, and at the end of it you're going to take him out in the city and take it a fully automatic weapon and blast him right there in the city and just get back in your car and drive off and leave him there. Everyone in earshot would say, you are suicidal and you are absolutely goddamn crazy out of your mind. I don't even believe what you just said. It's that fucking crazy. Now, it's like that's just a Tuesday. That's like, oh, you kidnapped a cop and blasted him with a full auto in the city and left him there? Well, who cares? You should hear what Jimmy did. He did something 10 times crazier. But we live in mad world. Nobody respects nothing anymore, and the stakes just keep getting higher and higher. Everyone just gets crazier and crazier, and the consequences are lower and lower. I guess it just wears you down. It's all sort of wears away at you after a while, just realizing how crazy things are these days. We got more cops than ever. We can't handle it no matter what we do. We could throw the National Guard at them. We couldn't handle this shit. We're not equipped to deal with this shit.
Essentially, you're made to lose.
I mean, we can win. We can definitely win. Takes a lot of effort, skill, coordination, and a little bit of luck. We can do it. It's more the fact that nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. There's no fear there. There's no respect. I was gone a long time ago. We arrested a couple fellers the other day that had a warrant long as your arm that you read off all these charges, right? One of them, three fellers pled not guilty, right? And they wanted a bench trial. One of the four fellers said, I'm guilty on all charges. I want to go into prison. You know what? That motherfucker went to prison. He was out before the goddamn bench trial was even fucking over. He came on over there, and who the fuck cares? There's no, back in the day, you do some crazy shit, you might be gone for 3 years before anyone sees you. They'll have to remember what your name was by the time you get back. What did you say your name was? Frank? What gang were you a part of? Oh, that gang dissolved while you was in prison. They got dissolved by a whole different gang now. Nowadays, it's like you could park your car on the side of the road, rob a bank. If you get caught, you don't even have to put another quarter in the meter. You'll be out before the goddamn meter's up. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit.
There are those that do give a shit. There are those who will talk about the old days.
Yeah, it is scary right now, Del. It's scary.
Yeah, there was actually respect in the department, and when there was folks that wouldn't do and say the stupidest shit out in the open. Because there was punishment. There was true punishment. The city has changed, unfortunately. It really has. And a lot of people are paying the price for it.
Yeah. Kind of makes me wonder how much power we really have, you know? I could see the tide changing. I could see the way the wind's blowing. But I don't know if I have the strength to do anything to stop it, turn things around, to stand against this goddamn tidal wave and say, no, you motherfuckers will have consequences. And if this judicial system won't dish them out to you, then fucking I will. I'll gun you down. I'll stab you in your goddamn bed. I'll go through it. And I'll take the consequences. Because there are consequences. There should be consequences. Without consequences, what the fuck is life? There's no meaning to any of this shit if I can do whatever I want.
I'm going to quote you for a book. You've come down to the very root of living and breathing. You see the error in the city, and the fact that you want to go ahead and justify so many wrongs is the main reason I love seeing a badge on you.
So I'm not crazy?
No, I'm You're someone that gives a shit. You're someone with the power to
royalties.
Do shit. We all have our bad days. We all have situations in which we find ourselves never wanting to be in the first place. Life is about pushing forward and moving on.
Pushing
With
forward.
this current situation and how this city reacts to certain things and all the problems PD is dealing with, pushing forward with change is going to be necessary. If not, I see this entire city burning to the ground within a matter of months.
And all the police, firefighters, EMTs, we won't be able to put that goddamn blaze out. Once this powder keg goes up, it's going up. That's why I feel like I'm going out trying to prevent all this from happening, but I can see all the danger. I can see that the fire alarms are out. I can see that people are throwing their used cigarette butts at all these trash cans filled with paper. But I don't know if I can stop this place from going up, you know? Feels like this world's a tinderbox, and I'm helpless to stop it. Whenever I saw Ripley in handcuffs, I got real sad because my second favorite cop was in cuffs. Don't be sad.
I can tell you right now, you're not helpless. And you have a lot more support than you may know. If anything, what I want a big goal of yours to, while you're here, is think about what do you want to change, how do you want to change it, and how do you want to push forward. Because looking back at the mistakes and looking back at the way that things are right now, changes nothing. Pushing forward, looking at the future, and motivating not only yourself, but possibly others to go ahead in doing something that's right. Doing something that the city needs. And if you obviously need any help or assistance or are having trouble with anything,
Wow.
you give me a call and I'll be here within a matter of minutes.
Thank you very much, Cameron. I appreciate that. I'm going to put some thought into those two questions. What do you want to change, and how do you want to change it? I'm gonna think about that. I'm gonna think about it, and put some thoughts to paper, and sort of have a heart to heart with myself there, and kind of put it to paper and see if I can define exactly what that is. Because I don't really think I know. I don't think I've really put much effort or thought into it. I just sort of complain about it. But now's the time to really confront it.
And one more favor. Find out who Jack is. And remember who Jack is. Remember that you're not a robot. You're not simply someone with a badge and no name. You're human. And it's okay to feel human. You don't need to be Superman. You don't need to be an Eiffel Tower of
Go for it, emote.
justice or just... People need to remember that they're not invulnerable. It's okay to be human.
That's for sure. I bleed just like everyone else does. There's a graveyard just down the street. Someday I'll be in there.
We will be. And people forget that too. Life is short. It's unpredictable. If you're living a life that you don't enjoy or understand, then it's not really life now, is it?
I guess not. Sounds like a chore. Living someone else's life.
There you go. just in case if you haven't heard this today, thank you
Steak dinner?
for being someone that gives
I
a
do.
shit.
I appreciate that. I'll always
Do
give a
you
shit.
remember my steak dinner plan?
As long as I got shit left to give. I do recall. Thank you very much, Delph. I'll write that down. What do you want to change? How do you want to change it? And who is Jack Ripley? I got time to think about it, that's for sure.
That you do. You just let us know whenever you'd like a little company up here, then we'll be up here in a matter of no time.
Will do, Doc. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Can I have your number just in case I got to give you a
Of
ring?
course. Absolutely. There you are.
Thank you very much. It's Dr. Marks.
And Dr. Marks. Or Leon, whatever you want to call me. It's
415 578.
all the same. As long as you're taken care of, that's all I care about.
Leon Marks. Be in here now. I think I gotta go back out here. Go to here. All right. Oops, that's really. Is that a coworker of yours over there?
Where at? Oh, possibly. I'll see who it is, but not
Been
as
there
soon,
for like
sir.
30 minutes.
Hey, are you serious? 30 minutes and you're just now saying something?
Well, I didn't want to interrupt, but yeah, she's over there smoking a cigarette.
Christ.
Yep.
That might be Talia.
Oh, Talia? Okay, cool.
I assume so. Are you familiar with Talia at all, or are you friends, or?
Yeah, we're friends. She redecorated my house actually, and did a great job of it.
Oh, fantastic. She's got the creative eye for sure.
Yeah, she's very creative. I've lived there for 2 years, and I think all I put in there was a bed and a TV. So she came in the course of 1 week, and she finished the entire house. She even made a little room, a guest room for Zero to sleep in, with little pillows on the ground and a dog bowl in the corner. It's great.
Oh, awesome.
It is. It's great. It's right next to my room, too, so he doesn't get lonely or nothing, so.
Oh. Zero's got his own bedroom.
Absolutely he does.
All right. Anyways, but like I was saying, I've usually have the other therapist go ahead and do a few laps around and making sure that Parsons is good and everyone's on the up and up, food, water, all that fun stuff. So if you have any issues, just text me or email or anything like that, and we'll get you what you need.
Okay, I could do that. I'll keep an eye out for anybody.
Perfect. All right. Well, if you do need anything, like I said, we're always here.
I appreciate that, Doc.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
That sounds good.